Okay, so we're talking about making the FinFan 2 and 3. And I'll start with how I got to this board, which what I really start with is the ROM, and I'll use the NES Mapper Reader, and we'll load up crap, I can't. Let's see. We'll have to go to the Japanese ROMs here. So we got Final Fantasy 2 and 3 here. So we'll just load up 2, and you can see that's a SROM. SN-ROM is what I ended up with here. And it shows that it needs a battery, which of course it does have. And I think they both needed work RAM, or maybe one of them, I know they both have char RAM, since there's just a PRG file, no char file. I don't remember if both of them had work RAM, and I don't think it matters if they're on there or not. I think it'll still work if it doesn't need it and it has it, but not the other way around. Freaking fruit fly. So anyway, that's 2. And then 3 is your T-ROM. I got T and ROM. And a battery, of course, again. And again, char RAM with half megabit prog file. And again, I think it has the work RAM in this. I think 3 is the one that does need it for sure, and Final Fantasy 2 maybe not. I think the way I remember checking that was on BootGod database. Gotta remember the one with the 4 7s in it is the one that actually works now. So there's Final Fantasy 3 Japan. Let's see, it was a TN ROM. So this is the other way to figure out what board you need. And right there it says work RAM 8K. It also says video RAM 8K. Okay, down here it's I guess what they're calling video RAM is just your char RAM, because right here you got char RAM 8K and then work RAM, and then your mapper and the prog chip, which 512, it's showing 512 kilobytes there, so you need a 2 megabit. You simply take 512 times 8 to get from bytes to bits. 4 megabit. And then let's see, two is a 256. You see that's a 2 megabit, 2048. And looks like, yes, it does have work RAM and char RAM, which it's not labeled char RAM right there, but it says SRAM right here. And then your MMC1 mapper, and then your SN-ROM board type. So that's basically how I came to the conclusion this was the boards that I needed, and it was fairly easy to figure out on INL's site on which board you needed, but I can show that to you. Okay, so right there, Mapper 1, MMC1. And then you can see the first one is char ROM options, and the second one's char RAM, which we know we need RAM, and we know we need work RAM, and we know we need a battery, so this is the one that I ordered. Now the, let's see, MMC3. Again, first one is char ROM, second one is char RAM, and then we get the one with work RAM and battery. So that one was 16 bucks. Okay, and there you get a special homebrew one right there. And you want to make sure that it does support your ROM size, 512 kilobytes right there. So we're good on that one. Let's see, now we'll program the chips, and I know the first thing that I need to do is to find my Final Fantasy ROMs. They're both progs. I think somebody sent me the translated ROMs, which that's a whole nother thing, is getting Japanese ROMs versus translated ROMs. I think these have been out a while, but basically you don't need to do anything with these to program them, but I need to make them .bin so that my programmer recognizes them, and I'll just simply rename them .bin at the end. Now my programmer should see those files. Oh, there they were. Okay, right here. Let's see, I can just hover over them and see how size they are. So this is the 256 Final Fantasy 2. So I'll choose the 2 meg chip, and I actually have a flash chip to use here instead of an EPROM. So I want to come down to 28F020, which is exactly what I have. Now, obviously I need to check my jumpers and set those. I'll do that off camera and come back to you. Okay, so put my chip into the programmer. The dip switches are set properly, and I'm on 12.5 volt, not 21 volts. I think that's all I need down here. Now on the software, I've already got the file loaded, and now I can actually program it or check to see if it's blank, and apparently it is not. So I got the beep, and down here it says device not empty, so I can basically just go over here and erase it. Looks like it's going to erase and verify itself as well. Okay, it says erase completed, so I should be able to hit blank test, and I should get an empty chip now. Verified empty. That easy. Now, that may have taken a minute and a half, but compared to sticking an EPROM into a UV eraser, that was nothing. So now I should be able to just simply program it. This might take a couple minutes too, but probably take twice as long for the Final Fantasy 3 since it's twice as big. Programmed and now verifying. Verifying's going pretty fast, that's good. There you go. That's all it took to program the FinFan 2 chip. Now we'll put in the 4 megabit chip, which I need to straighten some legs on this first before I put it in there. So I'll do that off camera as well. Okay, legs straightened. Drop it in there. Now I'll go and change this to a 28F No. I got a 29F 040, and I don't see that too often, but I've got to change this one right here, and I need, yep, looks like the dip switches are the same, 3, 5, 6, 10, 11. So that's all good. Now again, blank test it. It's not blank, so erase it, and then again this will probably take a minute or two. Well, that ended abruptly, so that's not looking good. Well, I guess I'll try this one because it's actually an AM 29F440, but I would have thought they would have worked just about the same. Let's see if it ends abruptly again. It did. Well, that makes me want to not trust this chip. Could be something that I'm just missing here, but don't really want to take the time to deal with it. So I'll pull out a different chip, and I have a 27C 4001 EPROM, previously erased. So we'll go in here, 27C 4001. And we gotta change our settings back. And 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay. I'll do a blank check. About done programming, or I guess done blank checking, so oh, you know what, I got the wrong file loaded. Might want to change that to FinFan3, and then we can program. That definitely took a couple minutes. Verifying will probably take another 20 seconds. And there we go. So now, those are both ready to program or to solder down to the boards. I really wish I had a way to check these first, but I'm just not set up for any kind of testing on these. And I do have a Heiko 808 where I can easily desolder these back out of the board if I need to. So I'm just going to go ahead and solder them in and start testing the ROMs. Another good opportunity to double check and make sure that I've got the FinFan3 chip with the right board, TN, and same for the 2 meg and SN ROM. And this will be the easiest part, just soldering this chip down to the board. That looks pretty good. Okay. Those look like they're in good shape, so I guess we'll take it over and start testing them. Well, initially I'm going to try these in a top loader, unmodified top loader. This will be Final Fantasy II. That seems to work. Everything looks okay. I really picked some really poor names, didn't I? I was just trying to hurry and get through it. I personally have never played this stuff, so I have no idea if it all is working as it should be, but sometimes you have to really play a lot of this before you can realize whether something was wrong or not. One thing I thought about doing was after it was already put together like this, is to put it into the copy nest and dump it and see if I got the correct CRC out of it. It's an idea. Anyway, that one seems to be okay. I guess I should try to save too. There's an easy way to do that. This one just kind of goes straight to the prologue, doesn't it? Yay. Okay, that's enough of that. I wonder if is there a way to... $9 gil? Is that the same as like 9 gold or whatever? D didn't do anything. Screw him. Okay, there we go. Can't go to save. Why not? Only save in certain spots? I don't know. Anyway, they seem to work, so for me that's good enough. And as far as Which case they're going to go in, I don't know yet. That's up to the customer. Me, I would think white, because everything else about this reproduction item is going to be white. You know, the labels are white, but it could be a good contrast too, is to put those white labels on a black card shell. So up to them. Other than throwing in one of them foam cubes, there's really not much else to show. You know, I'm gonna probably gonna end up modifying the PCB as they showed on their site, so it'll actually fit in the freaking cart the way it's supposed to. I'm not going to cut cart plastic, that's just insane. So other than maybe testing the actual PCBs and proms, or the PRG files or whatever, out a little bit more, I think that's about all I really need to show as far as putting this together. It was just easy as ordering parts and then knowing how to program the chips. You know, there wasn't really a lot of effort into this one. So there you have it.